wanted to do as you were told at the Wizard World shows that rocked. Seriously. And the standing O was even better. I'm going to blog. You guys are all going to be on YouTube. It's awesome. So, I guess there's a mic here in the middle. So, here's what we don't want questions of. We don't want to ask what it was like to work with George Lucas. You're not going to be the first group to hear he was a jerk. No, he's not going to say anything bad. So what I want you to do is put your thinking caps on and think of questions that haven't been asked before. What have you always wanted to know? Billy's been in the business since he was 6 years old. He's an artist, he's an actor, he's a singer from time to time. So there are questions galore. Aside, also don't ask him what color underwear he was wearing 30 years ago on the set.
Well, I got my Mickey Mouse underwear on today.
So don't be shy. You guys start lining up at the microphone, and we will take questions. Okay?
Anyway, it's really nice to see everybody, and thank you for this really beautiful, warm welcome. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Love you, Billy.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Hey, my name's Dave, and thank you for returning to New Orleans. I was actually at the museum, the African American Museum of Art, when you were awarded the key to the city.
Were you there?
I was there by Mark Morial. What is the most rewarding aspect in your life working as an artist or an actor? What has been the most rewarding?
Well, all of it, actually. You know, I've been very fortunate in that I was able to, since I was a child, paint, and of course when I started in show business at the age of 6.5, 7 years old, my life was somehow revolved around the world of the arts. So I've been very fortunate. So I don't know how you can live a better way, actually, than to be able to express yourself in some creative fashion. So all of it has been very good to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Jim. Have you ever not been the coolest cat in the room? And if so, who was that?
Derek Mackey.
Yes, I didn't want to get it out with my shades, sorry. What's your name, sweetie?
My name's Kelly, and I was wondering why at the end of episode 5 you were wearing Han Solo's
Well, Derek is the only one who can.
Every show, I'm surprised it's not on YouTube yet. Is anyone actually videotaping? Yes. Do you want the real answer or the fake answer? The real answer is costume designer John Mullo decided to put him in the same clothes as Harrison. Didn't mean anything. They were actually sized differently. The fan answer, or the universe answer, is it's actually part of the Carillion core group. If you look at Han Solo's pants, he's got those red marks on it and stuff. It's from an old, extinct, army, basically. So it's the same uniforms.
Yeah, we're all in the army. Yeah, I started out as Steve Wynn, owning Las Vegas, only to join the army to become I guess I was a general, I suppose. Yeah.
I think we should start a new rumor that you left all your clothes on Cloud City because you had to get out of there so fast, and Han had plenty of clothes on the Falcon. How's that work for everybody? That sounds good. Yeah. That's my new answer from here on out. What's your name, sir?
Mine's Mike. You played Harvey Dent in the first Batman movie, and when Batman Forever came out, I was 14 years old. I was pretty heartbroken that it was Tommy Lee Jones playing Two-Face and not you, and I was just wondering what happened. And actually, I guess I want to say that it probably worked out for the best because that movie sucked anyway. But I was just curious what happened. Why did Tommy Lee Jones not you, or you know?
Well, he's a great actor, and I really love watching him in films. But there was a change of hands. I think the producers sold the project to Sony at that time. I guess they decided to go in a different direction. but I was disappointed too, but it's life.
Thank you.
What's your name, buddy?
Christopher Bertrand. I want to like to know if you can still sing. If so, can you sing my mama happy birthday?
Happy birthday. What's her name?
Yolanda Bertrand.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Yolanda. Is that it? Yolanda? Happy birthday to you.
Now, don't get any ideas. There's only one birthday song per show. What's your name, sweetie?
I'm Danielle. Afternoon, Mr. Williams. Thanks for being back here.
Oh, thank you.
And this is a question that my father wants me to ask, and hopefully you can settle a great debate in our household. Jim Brown or Gale Sayers?
Jim Brown or Gale Sayers?
Greatest ever.
Well, they're both great. They're both different. I mean, Jim Brown, I've never seen it. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody since Jim Brown carry about 14 guys on his back to the goal line. But he was magnificent. But certainly Gale was I always described him as like a ballet dancer. He had, you know, I don't know if your father read the book I Am Third. It was written about Gale Sayers, and in the preface was written by Bill Cosby. And Cosby, Gale is a Gemini, so Cosby said, you know, and a Gemini, of course, I mean, well, it's a kind of a metaphor, I suppose, but it's like watching two people, one person split up into two people. He had such delicate moves that it was really, I know when I watched him, when I was researching him, I mean, I got absolutely, totally fascinated with the delicacy of his moves. You know, he seemed almost ghost-like and very elusive. Both.
Very diplomatic,
Both
thank
great
you.
football players.
What's your name, sir?
My name is David. I think this question has been on everyone's mind for years now, and we just need to get it out in the open. Does Colt 45 really work every time?
It works for me. Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
What's your name, sir?
My name's John. I got a question for you from a friend of mine. Any chance of you doing a voice appearance on the Clone Wars, the cartoon series now? Maybe a young Lando?
I don't know. Nobody's asked, so I don't know. When they ask, I mean, I'll do it. I've done it for Robot Chicken. I've done it for Family Guy. I think Family Guy. Yeah, I did a Family Guy. Right.
Hi,
What's your name?
Michelle. Let's see if I can word this right. You've been such a huge, major image in all sorts of media, especially for the African American community. And I was wondering if there was anything you hope to see, like in the future, sort of like as time evolves. You know, we have Halle Berry winning an Academy Award. Started with Sidney Poitier, kind of evolving. Is there anything you hope to see one day as far as African Americans in the media?
Well, I mean, I think things are changing. People are doing a lot better. People are a lot more open than those years when I was around. I see the opportunities seem to be a lot greater. So hopefully, this is America. You know, this country's an incredible country. I mean, even with all the problems that we have dealing with each other as human beings, it's still in process. And I think I'm optimistic that things will get better, and not only for African Americans, but there's that sense as we progress and evolve, the sensibilities change. And there's been a lot of progress for all of us. Right now, we are worried about a job. That's the big thing right now, making a living.
Thank you.
And manufacture, producing products. I think that's a major concern right now.
What's your name?
Stephen. Billy, I was wondering if you could talk about possibly the first time you were approached. Obviously, Star Wars had been a hit when you were approached to do the Lando role. Who approached you? When did you kind of first hear? What was your reaction? I mean, did they say, "Oh, well, we're kind of thinking John Amos, you're second," or what was kind of the process there?
No, well, they came directly to me to play the role. As a matter of fact, Irv Kershner and I got together. He came to my house, and that's pretty unusual. I mean, most actors have to go to somebody's office and audition, but that wasn't the case as far as I was concerned. He came to my house, and we sat and talked for a long time, talked about a lot of different things. He was interested in Eastern philosophy. He was very much involved with Buddhism. And at some point in my life, I was very much involved with Eastern philosophy. And so we had some really a great kind of simpatico. We really connected. The moment we met, actually, it's one of those, those wonderful rare moments. That's how it all sort of evolved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaking of Kirsch, I want to invite everybody who's not just an Empire Strikes Back fan, but a fan of Kirsch's work, to go to our website, which is coolwatersprods.com. There is a memorial page for Kirsch on there, and fans can write in their thoughts and wishes for him and his family. So everybody should do that if you can, okay? Because he's deeply missed by the whole industry.
Yeah, he was a mountain of a man. He was a great man and a consummate artist, not only as a filmmaker, but as a I don't know, I guess he did sort of a mixed media with his artwork. He was pretty extraordinary.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name's Kurt, and I was one to ask you, when you were making Bingo Long, did you get to be in any of the old Negro League baseball players?
Yeah, some of those guys were in the movie.
Yeah, I was just wondering, how was it meeting some people like you?
Oh, that was one of the best experiences I've ever had working in that movie. I mean, that movie to me is a classic, and so I had a lot of fun doing that. It was a lot of work. I had to really go into training for that. And I didn't realize, I mean, I played baseball when I was a kid, but I had no idea to what degree the training routine was really about until I started working on that movie. Learning to be a pitcher.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Larry. My question is, despite you being an outstanding actor and all, do you think you would want to take a chance and see like producing or directing movies?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I've thought about. I'm still thinking about it. I'm always looking for ideas and things that I'd like to do, things that really have I strongly feel about. Feel strongly about. So yeah, I haven't really completely ruled that out. I've done a little bit of directing, stage directing, but I'd like to tackle the movie thing as far as directing is concerned. But it's really finding something that really appeals to me, something that I'm going to be in love with. I think that's the only way that I personally can approach things.
Thank you very much. I'm curious to add to that, Billy. What type of project would you want to take on? Would you want like an action adventure, a thriller, or a romance? What would entice you?
Well, action adventure is something I think you really have to have a real sensibility for that. I don't know that I would. It depends. I guess if it's a great story and it's character driven, those are the things that I look for. And if there's an awful lot of action as a part of it, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's just finding the right, it's got to click. It's like when you read something and you say, oh yeah, this is it. This is the direction I want to take. And I can really focus on it.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name's Jeff, and I'm just wondering, what is the strangest experience you've had with a fan?
With what?
With a fan.
With a fan?
Keep it clean.
We had one lady though. That lady that.
Oh my God! Tell them about last night.
No.
Oh, I mean, it's not quite a fan, but it's a hilarious story. I think it's.
Well, I didn't think it was so hilarious. I was pissed off myself. We had a guy who was driving us from the airport to the hotel last night. I don't know what he was on, but it was pretty scary. But you tell it.
Well, we were nervous. We were in the car with James Marsters and Mike Grell and Billy, and the guy kept swerving. So we all forced the guy to get off the road, and we went to a liquor store in the ghetto. And then James Marsters decided to take the wheel and drive us the rest of the way to the It's funny now. It wasn't last night. We were scared for our lives. But
I really felt like I was in the twilight.
Welcome to New Orleans.
And he technically was a fan because that freaky driver did ask you for your autograph when you sat down.
Yeah, he asked me for an autograph, and then he proceeded to go to sleep at the wheel.
I take it he didn't get the autograph.
Yeah, I gave it to him. This was just before he started driving the car. He had no idea what to do with the car. But then I realized that when the car started swerving, I just said to him, look, why don't you just pull over? And I didn't want to really upset the man because, while he was driving, but so we were all trying to, we were like in a state of panic, but we were just trying to be cool about it, so finally, and he kept saying, oh, I'm okay.
Okay, I promise, I'm okay.
Yeah, and I just, I had this vision of myself going through some rail. Or running into something, it was very strange.
See, exit 221 could have been named after you, damn it. Anyway, what's your name, sir?
Robert Starnes.
Hi.
Hi. You mentioned the robot chicken thing earlier, and the last one had a gag in it where you're accosted by a fanboy in a convenience store checkout and go on this rant about in defense of Lando.
A lot of that was
character.
improvised.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. How much of that was you?
Yeah, a lot of it was. We had a lot of fun doing that. That was one of the best ones. I think they bleeped a lot of it. But, that was a lot of fun. Actually, I gave the idea to Seth Green. Prior to doing it, I said, I was just telling him about how people are always accusing me of betraying Han Solo. And he decided to do a whole thing on that. Because I spent a lot of my years when I was with my daughter picking her up from school, and I found myself in the middle of the schoolyard. Just trying to justify Nando's actions. All these these little kids. And when I go on an airplane, I mean, the stewardess would say, "You betrayed Han Solo." And I found myself, getting into a whole discussion about that.
Look, the second Death Star. What do you want?
Well, the second, huh?
He blew up the second.
Oh, yeah, well,
But that was in the second movie.
that was in the second movie.
Some of them didn't see that.
But that does answer my question.
Thank you.
We need to start telling people that that scene was actually shot live at a grocery store. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. All act surprised next time. What's your name, sir?
My name's Larbeth.
Hi.
I was wondering if you could go back and do any role, which would it be and why?
Well, let's see. On stage, I played Martin Luther King in New York City on the Broadway stage. And I always regret it, but in a sense, I don't regret it, because the reason why I left it, I didn't stay with the show all the way until, I left it, I stayed with it for about 3 months and I left, because I wanted to come home. But I had my daughter was a baby then, and I really missed her, and I really just wanted to spend more time with her. So, but I always regretted the fact that I didn't stay with it, because I could have gotten a silly little thing like a Tony nomination. Yeah, I think I would probably go back. No, I'd rather, my daughter was much more important. Well, she was. She was so wonderful. She's still wonderful.
Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Zach. My question was, like, when you worked on, like, say, The Ladies' Man, and doing comedy like that based on, like, a Lorne Michaels produced film and working with silent comedians, what was the different feeling as far as, like, tone on the set compared to other films you worked on?
Well, it's always interesting about comedians. I've been around a lot of comedians in my time, and some of them are really totally ridiculous human beings. But you'll find some guys who are really, who think more like actors than comedians. They're really craftspeople, and they think about the craft more than they sit around and just tell jokes. And the guys that I work with, as I recall, were people who were very serious people, so it was a nice experience.
Thank you. What's your name, sir?
My name's Drew. My question is if there was any role that you have done, would you have made a second choice on it and said, no, I'm not going to do it?
There's been a few, I guess. There's been a few. I can't remember. Maybe that's a good thing. But I think when you're trying to build a career, you really have to make choices, and you have to make the right choices. If you want to have kind of a longevity in this business, and that's not an easy thing to do. And interestingly enough, even when you've had a lot of success is when it becomes even more difficult. The moment you win an Academy Award, that means that your standard, the bar is raised. And so that means that you've got to make some really good choices. And that's not always easy to do. Especially when people are offering you all kinds of money. It's always a choice between, do I want the money more than I want the longevity of a career.
What's your name, sir?
Brian. I was just wondering if there was ever a role that you passed up on, and then later on you wish, after you saw how good the role was, that you wish you would have taken it.
I can't remember anything like that. I've been lucky in the sense that I've always had a lot of good advice from the people I worked with over the years. So I wasn't always, I made the decisions, the final decision, but I always had a lot of help from people who gave me a lot of support. So I can't really think of anything that, I can't think of anything.
Hi, my name's Cody. Being such a seasoned veteran at performing, you know, the media bombards us so much with inspiration. Now, do you still find inspiration in the roles that you perform, or do you make it at this point?
Do I what at this point?
Do you make your inspiration at this point?
Make my inspiration?
Correct. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, most a lot of performers now are influenced by new things, and since you've been around, you've done so much and have such a long career, like you said. Do you still find inspiration in the roles that you play, or do you just on a whim, say like the Robot Chicken episode, things like that?
Well, this living experience in what I call this barren sod, this vale of tears. You go through a lot of different, in choice making. It's so varied. Your whole life is sort of built, revolves and built around variables. So if you're inspired, you're inspired. And, I don't know how really to answer that. I mean, it's just, it's such a, there's a lot of complexity there.
Thank you, man.
As far as that's concerned.
Thank you.
It's too complex for me.
You guys are rocking with the good questions. See, that's the type of stuff we like. It's good, it's good.
Hey Dave, how's it going, man?
Okay.
I have a question. First of all, welcome to New Orleans. And if you ever get the opportunity to direct, I would like to point out that New Orleans offers excellent tax incentives and has a fantastic crew base for the motion picture.
Do you work for the city?
I'm sorry?
Do you work for the city?
No, but I work in the film community here in New Orleans. My question to you is this. As an actor, do you have a favorite improvised line that ever made it to a final cut of a feature or a project that you were on?
Well, there are quite a few lines that people quote from movies I've done. The Lady Sings the Blues, Mahogany, the Star Wars movies. So, do I have a favorite?
One that you, I mean, I know if it doesn't exist on the page.
Do you want my arm
it
to
doesn't
fall off?
exist.
There's one from Lady Sings the Blues. Do you want my arm to fall off? What's the matter? You don't like gardenias? But of course, Colt 45.
I can't raise a Colt 45, G, but I will raise my past.
But I think when you do a project and you are able to do lines that the people remember and quote, I think that's a real compliment. For an actor. But here, I as a painter, going back to what you were saying about spending time here doing making movies. I was actually asked. I used to show my paintings at a gallery in the quarter called the Laborde Gallery, and I was asked to become a resident artist. But I didn't do it because of the heat here.
Get used to it.
I don't think so. Anyway.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
We need to make sure we have air conditioning if he directs a movie here. We're going to call you. What was your number? No. What's your name, sir?
Dorian. I echo what he said. One of your lines, Bella, Bella, Bella.
Oh, shout out. My grandson says that now. He's only 2 years old.
Shout out.
before George Clooney and Brad Pitt and Denzel Washington, nobody was as smooth as Billy D. My quick question is, can you share with us some insight on what it was like doing Lady Sings the Blues with Diana Ross? If you've been asked this already, that's fine. And also, in
Well, I
terms
love kissing.
No hesitation at all. And then Undercover Brother. If you comment, am I correct that you were in that? Sometimes I watch these movies.
Yeah, that's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
I agree.
I even participated in it.
And I wonder if you could comment on that. And if there is a project that you'd like to do, if somebody came to you and said, I'm going to build something around what you want to do.
Well, I've always wanted to do Duke Ellington.
Oh, okay.
Because I always thought that I was.
Where's that guy who was here earlier?
I always thought that I was the only one who could really pull that one off. Because Ellington was a real interesting guy. You talk about a real great man of great charm, but almost a kind of a foppish kind of charm. Besides being an extraordinary music person.
Would you do it as a made-for-TV, or does it have to be a feature film?
I don't know. I tried to put ideas together. I almost did it a few times, but we just weren't able to get it off the ground.
What did you need?
Money.
Money is always the criteria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you offering?
I am in the investment business and don't raise money.
You come to our table, we're going to give you a business card.
Where's your table?
It's downstairs on the main floor.
I'll be there.
You better, because I'm going to find you.
Mr. Billy.
Wait, what's your name?
Chris.
Okay, Chris.
I don't know if everybody's thinking about this, but some of them are thinking in the back of their mind, 1 week from today, who you think is going to win between the Steelers and the Packers? Yeah. We ain't going to hate you.
I don't know. I really don't know. I want everybody to win.
My name's Kyle, and I just have a quick question that you probably don't get asked very often. I might be wrong. But how did you end up playing a cameo as yourself on Lost?
Well, what happened in that situation, because Jimmy Kimmel is a big Lost fan. And so I did a lot of those, he would always call me up to do these crazy little parody kind of things on Lost. And I did quite a few of them. And the Lost people picked up on it. And so they decided to come up with this, what I regarded as a kind of a unique idea to play myself playing a killer, And so I had a lot of fun. Flew out to Hawaii and had a lot of fun doing it.
Yes, sir. We've got, if there's anyone still clamoring, we've got a couple, you can jump up still. We have about 2 more minutes. Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name is Eric. If I read correctly, you started out at the School for the Performing Arts.
Yeah, Music and Art High School is where I went.
Okay.
Which was the other school. Performing Arts, there was Performing Arts, there was Music and Art High School.
Okay.
They never made a movie about my school, but they made a movie about Performing Arts. My school is a better school.
I was curious if you had ever done much in the way of teaching your craft to younger actors, either in the classroom or just for mentoring other actors up and coming.
I've done seminars and stuff like that. And I had a friend, Milton Katselas, who passed away, who directed me on a stage play, and I became friends with. I sat and directed a couple of his acting classes. But I don't like hanging out with actors. I can't take actors' egos.
Okay, guys, seriously, there's a couple more. So we may not make it to you, so don't be disappointed. Don't come find me. What's your name?
Actors are the most ridiculous people in the world.
Hi, my name's Brian. I'm a big fan of Billy D, so thanks for coming to New Orleans. So I've noticed
even here today and in the Star Wars movies, you're the only character who ever pronounces Han Solo's name as Han Solo. Is there any reason why you sometimes say Han and sometimes say Han?
I don't know. Oh, is it hot? Or is it really hot?
Actually,
Han, I guess if you're a European, you say Han. Americans, he's Han.
Which way is, Harrison says it in the first one, because he's on
I thought
Han Solo, right? Han?
Well, Han would be more like German, wouldn't it?
Are there any Star Wars fans in the room? Which is it?
Han.
Shut up. Yes, sir. What's your name?
I'm Trey. I was a big fan of when you showed up on Scrubs, and I know you said that actors have the lighting, but it's hard to work with them. But what was the experience with Zach Braff and Donald Faison, Bill Lawrence?
Oh, we had a lot of fun doing that. It was fun. Well, whenever I have an opportunity when people ask me to do stuff like that, where I can express humor, it's a lot of fun for me. It's,
I love the whole little name battle that you and Donald Faison did. It's like, oh, it's Lando. It's like, no, Baby B. Thank you.
okay, thanks.
Now, before we forget, before we take the last question, so get your pens out or your recording devices. We want everyone to check out Billy's official website, which is bdwworldart.com. It's his initials, bdwworldart.com. You see some of the paintings that he's done. Also, I want to remind everyone in the room, if you want a photo op with Billy, meaning you're posing with him, you need to do that at the photo op booth. He does not do it at his signing booth. And we're doing the photo op immediately after the Q&A. Don't run. We don't want people being thrown out of the building, but you will have time to get down to the photo op booth, okay? We're going to do 2 more questions, and then we're done. So you 2 guys, okay? What's your name, sir?
My name's Daniel. I guess I have one of the important questions. Out of all the movies you've done, who do you dress up for Halloween?
What do I dress up as for Halloween?
You costume, you do yourself or what?
The last time I did a costume for Halloween was when I was about 18 years old, 17 years old, and I was a pirate.
No ninjas?
No ninjas. We didn't know anything about ninjas then.
The last question. Make it a good one.
My name is Simon. I was wondering, have you ever thought of running for president? I thought there's good opportunities now.
I don't think so.
I would just love to put a sticker like, BDW2012. I think that's
Thank you very much. I'd really screw things up. This place would be in real trouble.
Right, we're going to allow this recorder to do
I
one
see
more
myself as the
You guys can edit that part of it. Okay, really quick, okay?
Billy, get up. It's 12 o'clock. You gotta work. It's time to do something. The world is falling apart.
Yeah, go.
Gio Finoport, Tiger TV, The Ramen. I'm a big fan of Star Wars. I'm a big fan of Broadway. You've done both. Do you think we'll ever get the chance to see a Star Wars musical?
Oh, that's up to George Lucas. I've done everything else. I don't know why.
Ladies and gentlemen, Billy D. Williams.
Thank you very much.